Oh no, not another boring PowerPoint presentation. My eyes, my eyes. How much does it stink to be in the audience for yet another drawn out, boring, lifeless slideshow? Worse yet, how awful is it to be the one giving it? The truth is, bad PowerPoints happen to good people, and quite often, the person giving the presentation is just as much a victim as the poor audience listening to him or her. In today's presentation, we'll review some strategies to help add a little zing to your next presentation. Many of these ideas center around planning, slide design, and delivering the presentation. Tip 1. Write a script. A little planning goes a long way. Most presentations are written in PowerPoint or some other presentation software without any sort of rhyme or reason. That's backwards, since the point of your slides is to illustrate and expand what you're going to say to your audience. You should know what you intend to say and then figure out how to visualize it. Unless you are an expert at improvising, make sure you write out or at least outline your presentation before trying to put together slides. Remember that your professor and classmates want you to tell a story of what you have done, so you'll want to organize it into a logical flow of ideas. Your script should follow good storytelling conventions. Give it a beginning, middle, and end. Have a clear arc that builds towards some sort of climax. Make your audience appreciate each slide, but be anxious to find out what's next. And when possible, always leave them wanting more. If your professor gives you a list of areas they want you to cover, make sure you have covered all the areas in your presentation. Tip 2. One thing at a time. At any given moment, the information on the screen should be what you're talking about. Our audience will almost instantly read every slide as soon as it's displayed. If you have the next 4 points you plan to make up there, they'll be 3 steps ahead of you, waiting for you to catch up, rather than listening to the point you're making. Plan your presentation so just one new point is displayed at any given moment. If one area of your topic has 3 main ideas, plan to use 3 slides instead of cramming everything onto one slide. Bullet points can be revealed one at a time as you reach them. Charts can be put on the next slide to be referenced when you get to the data the chart displays. Your job as presenter is to control the flow of information so that you and your audience stay in sync. Tip 3, no paragraphs. Where most presentations fail is when the creator is convinced they are producing some kind of standalone document and put everything they want to say onto their slides in great big chunky blocks of text. Congratulations, you've just killed a room full of people. Cause of death? Terminal boredom. Your slides are the illustrations for your presentation, not the presentation itself. They should underline and reinforce what you're saying as you give your presentation. Save the paragraphs of text for your script. PowerPoint and other presentation software have functions to display notes onto the presenter's screen that do not get sent to the projector. Or you can use note cards, a separate Word document, or your memory. Just don't put it on the screen. Tip 4. Pay attention to details. PowerPoint and other presentation packages offer all sorts of ways to add visual flash to your slides. Fades, swipes, flashing text, and other tricks are all too easy to insert with a few mouse clicks. Avoid the temptation to dress up your pages with a bunch of effects and focus instead on simple design basics. Use a clear font for body text. Fonts like Arial, Helvetica, or Calibri tend to be the easiest to read on screens. Use decorative fonts only for slide headers and then only if they're easy to read. Decorative fonts such as calligraphy, German blackface, futuristic, curly handwriting, etc., are hard to read and should be reserved only for large headlines at the top of the page. But better yet, stick to a classy font like Georgia or Baskerville. Put dark text on a light background. Again, this is the easiest to read. If you must use a dark background, for instance, if your company uses a standard template with a dark background, then make sure your text is quite light, white, cream, or light gray, and maybe bump up the font size 2 or 3 notches. Align the text left or right. Centered text is harder to read and looks amateurish. Line up all your text to a right-hand or left-hand baseline. It will look better and be easier to follow. Avoid clutter. A headline, a few bullet points, maybe an image. Anything more than that, and you risk losing your audience as they sort it all out. Tip 5, use images sparingly. There are 2 schools of thought about images in presentations. Some say they add visual interest and keep audiences engaged. Others say images are an unnecessary distraction. Both arguments have some merit, so in this case, the best option is to split the difference. Use images only when they add important information or make an abstract point more concrete. And while we're on the subject, do not use PowerPoint's built-in clip art. Anything from Office 2003 and earlier has been seen by everyone in your audience 1,000 times. They've become tired, used-up cliches. And I hopefully don't need to tell you to avoid tired, used-up cliches in your presentations. Office 2007 and later and non-Office programs have some clip art that isn't so familiar, though it will be and soon. But by now, the entire concept of clip art has about run its course. It just doesn't feel fresh and new anymore. Tip 6, think outside the screen. Remember, the slides on the screen are only part of the presentation and not the main part. Even though you'll likely be presenting in a darkened room, give some thought to your own presentation manner, how you hold yourself, what you wear, how you move around the room. Remember, you are the focus when you're presenting, no matter how interesting your slides are. Tip 7, have a hook. Like the best writing, the best presentations capture their audiences early and then reel them in. Open with something surprising or intriguing, something that will get your audience to sit up and take notice. The most powerful hooks are often those that appeal directly to your audience's emotions. Offer them something amazing, or if it's appropriate, scare the pants off of them. The rest of your presentation then will be your intention to make the amazing thing happen or the scary thing not happen. Tip 8, ask questions. Questions arouse interest, pique curiosity, and engage audiences. So feel free to ask them. Build tension by posing a question and letting your audience stew a moment before moving to the next slide with the answer. If appropriate, engage in a little question and answer with your audience, with you asking the questions. They may not answer outright, but they will be thinking about the answers in their minds. Tip 9, modulate. Especially when you've done a presentation before, it can be easy to fall into a monotonous tone, going on with only minimal changes to your inflection. Always speak as if you were speaking to a friend, not as if you were reading off of index cards, even if you are. If keeping up a lively and personable tone of voice is difficult for you when presenting, Do a couple of practice run-throughs, possibly in front of a trusted family member or friend. Or you can record yourself. By hearing and or seeing yourself, you can judge the inflection, speed, and enunciation of your voice. You always want to put yourself in your audience's position, seeing and hearing yourself as they would see you. It's not so much about perfecting your orating skills as it is about showing your personality through your words. In order to come across original and confident, you want to show your true character and that you're comfortable in your speech. Tip 10, break the rules. As with everything else, there are times when each of these rules, or any other rule you know, won't apply. If you know there's a good reason to break a rule, go ahead and do it. Rule breaking is perfectly acceptable behavior. It's ignoring the rules or breaking them because you just don't know any better that leads to meaningless, dull presentations. And this leads to boredom, depression, psychopathic breaks, and eventually death. And you don't want that, do you? If you have questions, want to reserve a spot for a workshop, sign up for tutoring, or submit an assignment for review, please visit the online writing community. Thank you.